Hey, what's up? This is this HD Campbell, editor in chief for Untitled Track, and right now I got Instrumentool, the leader of DITCMG. I mean the upcoming record label that's gonna take over Tampa and take over the rest of the world, but one step at a time, you know. And so at the moment, let me go ahead and ask him. He's our expert for In Your Opinion. So let's ask this man for his opinion. All right, in your opinion, what do you feel about the state of hip hop right now?
The state of hip hop is in the eye of the beholder, and saying that, everybody will have their own opinion about it or their own vision. You got people that can look at the mainstream aspect of it and say it's dead. Or you can ask an underground artist about what he listened to, what he like in hip hop, and the underground to him could be the best thing smoking. So that kind of question would be to each his own. But from my point of view, I'm more so into the underground, and that state of hip hop is some of the best music ever created. From a while ago to even up to now, I think. Yeah, that music is some of the dopest music I heard in a long time. And it can compete with a lot of the mainstream stuff that's out now.
All right, man. That's some of the mainstream stuff that won't even compete against some of the hip hop stuff. I mean,
right,
the underground stuff that's if we put it under there. So I totally agree with you on that.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people, including myself, feel that that once you get on the radio, once it hits industry, they water it down. And they feel that sometimes it takes the soul out of hip hop, not just underground hip hop, but just hip hop in general. So the thing is that do you feel the same way, or do you think you think that do you still feel it's each his own? What about your opinion?
Well, it just depends on the level that it comes from.
Right.
What people got to understand is, like I told you before we had this talk.
Of course.
The music in the studio is music in the studio.
Right.
And when it leaves, that's when it becomes the product.
Right.
So it's not music no more. After it's pressed up and it's on the radio, it's a single and it's a CD, it's on iTunes. Now you have the product. So of course it's going to be watered down because these white collars want the money, man.
Right.
Anything is going to be watered down when it comes to money.
Right.
People going to put whatever they can aside to make that dollar.
That's true.
So they don't care about how the artist look, how the music sound, who made the beat, who recorded it, who mastered it, how it got to the studio. they don't care.
Right.
They don't care. As long as they can make all these charts and whatever money they think that it can make, they're going to run with it.
Right.
And that's the same on any level. I feel any level of business.
Yeah, I feel you. But now saying it that way, it seems like it's. So when you say music industry, it literally means industry. It's more industry than it is music. So it seems like it's taking more of the art out of it. But
Definitely.
At the same time, it is product.
Right, and it's always been like that.
Right.
It's always been like that. It just so happened that in the times, 60s, 70s, 50s, 40s, so be it, even the 90s, that's when the music was better to me.
Right.
But now, it's so much watered down now to where so many different people in the game. So, that's where the water comes from.
But when you say different people in the game, right? Do you feel when they say different people in the game, is there anybody who really stands out right now at the moment that says, okay, yeah, there's a lot of guys in the game, but this guy's gonna be here for a while. Now, is there anybody like that now, or you just feel like everybody just it's hit by hit by hit, so you just don't know if they're gonna stay there because of the hit?
Well, you can kind of, out of all the artists that are out and all the songs, even, you got your local acts putting out all the mixtapes and people doing the underground albums, you can always kind of tell which ones are going to last.
Right.
Even if they put out maybe 2 or 3 albums. And that now is kind of like an accomplishment versus the old times because there's so much music coming out.
Right.
So you can kind of tell which ones are gonna last long and do well because of what they're doing for the culture.
Well, I mean, is there anybody in particular that you can think of right now in the not in the underground aspect, even though this is underground on the mainstream aspect,
on a mainstream level?
Yeah,
I feel the number one right now. I think Kendrick Lamar. He's the number one in the battle order to last long,
right,
and still kind of cultivate the culture to get back to lyrics, putting an album together. Having, your skits leading to your songs and stuff like that.
I was actually listening. I actually listened to his latest album, and I was sitting there thinking, it had like an old reminiscent feel because of the skits. It's not like a braggadocio type of skit. You know what I mean? I mean? When you got like a dude sitting there talking about this female, or or like a. I'm gonna put this skit to embarrass this person or that person.
Right.
But now it means a skit that actually it brings the album together. You know what I mean? The whole album.
And some of those skits make the song that much better though.
Right.
Because it's like the skit might come after this one particular song. And you be like, oh damn.
Right.
And then they just lead into what that next song is. And if you didn't hear that skit, you might have not caught it.
Right.
It might have came later,
right.
But by having that skit in there, it just help you get to the point faster.
I feel what you're saying. Well, that's me. Shoot.